In this morning's Health Watch, some surprising headache triggers. Doctors say that you can reduce painful headaches and crippling migraines by avoiding certain foods and activities. Early show contributor Dr. Holly Phillips of WCBS-TV is here to explain. Good morning.
Good morning, Debbie.
All right, we want to start off with the first one, which I'm a little surprised by because I always thought it was barometric pressure that affected headaches, but you say
exactly.
Temperature.
It's really warm weather. Winter's a great time for headache sufferers. Actually, a recent study showed for every 9-degree increase in temperature, the risk of getting a headache goes up even more than 7%. So really warm weather is a trigger for many people. And you're right, low barometric pressure, which is what happens before rain, is also a trigger.
Okay, so let's move on then to food.
Sure.
There are a couple of foods you want to talk about.
Well, aged cheeses is probably the most common trigger. Aged cheese contains a substance called tyramine, which happens from the breakdown of amino acids as food ages. So the more aged the food, the more tyramine it contains. That's why red wine is also a trigger. It contains tyramine, and also it dilates blood vessels in the brain, which can actually compound the problem.
I want to go back. Let's list a couple of these aged cheeses. So we're talking about like blue cheese.
Blue cheese, there's Parmesan, there's some aged cheddars. Anything that's not, say American cheese that you can buy right over the counter probably has some tyramine in it.
The smelly cheeses.
Exactly,
if you will.
the yummy ones.
And then this one seems so counterintuitive. Exercise. You would think exercise would help.
It's true. Exercise can trigger a type of headache called an exertion headache. Now, we're not exactly sure why this is. It might have to do with increased blood flow in the scalp, in the head, in the neck, and it's more common in people who exercise infrequently. So regular exercisers don't tend to experience that type of headache.
Is it tied to how strenuous the exercise is? If you exercise harder, maybe it's a bigger trigger?
Exactly. If you're not used to exercising and then you suddenly exercise very, very strenuously, that's a serious trigger.
Okay, and then the last one makes perfect sense, sleep deprivation.
Exactly. A recent study showed people who sleep less than 6 hours a night experience far more frequent and more severe headaches than people who sleep more. So, sleep is really a limited resource these days, but we should try and do what we can to get as much as we can.
All right, Dr. Holly Phillips, thank you so much. Good information.